Now there's a ketchup just for onion lovers. Introducing new Heinz ketchup and onions. Lots of chopped onions blended with America's favorite ketchup. If you love Heinz ketchup and onions, you'll love new Heinz ketchup and onions.
If you walk into any dinner in the world, you are likely to see his name on ketchup bottles and pickle jars. He is none other than the king of ketchup, Henry Heinz. Henry Heinz has been a part of the American culture for more than a century. He once said, "I will do the common thing uncommonly well." Then he did it. He sold his products in every continent and built a huge empire from it. In fact, the word success is an understatement when describing Henry J. Heinz. From humble beginnings as a local horseradish producer in 1869, Henry Heinz combined an entrepreneurial spirit with innovative advertising to create the H.J. Heinz Company, which is an amazing $10 billion Fortune 500 corporation today. But that's not all. There is much more to this interesting entrepreneur than you know. But before we start, do not forget to like and subscribe. Guys, if we talk about the early life of Heinz, his ancestors lived in Germany and produced wine. His father, John Henry Heinz, was born in Germany. At the age of 19, John Heinz went into the military service, and when he returned back, he decided to move to the United States of America. Henry John Heinz was born on October 11, 1844, and grew up in Sharpsburg, a borough of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Here, at the age of 8, the young Heinz started selling extra vegetables grown in his family garden to neighbors. By the age of 12, Heinz farmed 3.5 acres of land, on which he specialized growing horseradish root. He started selling his homemade horseradish door to door to the residents of Sharpsburg. The most interesting moment came in his life when at 21, Heinz bought a half interest in his father's brick business. 3 years later, he partnered with Clarence Noble to manufacture and sell bricks, which was his first business venture outside the family. The following year, in 1869, Heinz and Noble abandoned bricks and returned to food processing, starting a company named Anchor Pickle and Vinegar Works. Since the homemade horseradish was such a success, Heinz began producing other goods, including celery sauce, pickled cucumbers, and vinegar. This small business soon evolved into Heinz, Noble and Company, taking on E.J. Noble as a third partner. Although the company was an instant success, the financial panic of 1873 led the company into bankruptcy in 1875. This was a huge blow for Heinz, who faced one of the biggest failures in his life. And his partnership with Clarence broke. After this, Henry had experienced severe emotional stress, and it took him a very long time to recover. Christmas of 1875 was the worst one in his life, as he even could not afford to buy gifts to his children. Heinz has long remained depressed. He did not get out of bed for several months. Heinz's mother gave him all her savings so he could give his business idea another try. Despite this setback, Heinz, who had developed a reputation for quality products, was ready to try again. However, bankruptcy did not hold him back, and almost immediately afterwards, Heinz started over as a new company, F&J Heinz, with his brother John Heinz and a cousin Frederick. While Heinz was the head of the company, he was not allowed to manage it by law due to shares of other people. The Heinz business became strictly a family business. The relatives even conducted a board meeting in the kitchen during a family dinner. But later on in 1888, H.J. Heinz acquired controlling interest in F&J Heinz. All the other relatives left after getting money for their shares, and Heinz was the sole owner along with his wife, thus instating the H.J. Heinz Company name. Bright red in color, tangy, sweet, salty, and replete with a meaty, tomato-ahed ketchup provides accents of color and flavoring, as well as a smell and texture that is familiar and comforting. But did you know that 6 out of 10 ketchup bottles consumed in the United States are produced by Heinz? It turns out ketchup's origins are anything but American. Ketchup comes from the Hokkien Chinese word which means the name of a sauce derived from fermented fish. Henry's mother knew how to make a delicious tomato sauce, and this was the recipe which became a formula of the Heinz ketchup. This special tomato sauce, made from fresh tomatoes grown by Heinz in the fields of Pennsylvania, was a great success. The ketchup more than delighted consumers, as it could improve the taste of a wide variety of products, from sausages to pasta. In 1896, while riding a train in New York City, Heinz saw a sign advertising 21 styles of shoes, which he thought was very clever. Although Heinz was manufacturing more than 60 products at the time, Henry thought 57 was his lucky number. Therefore, he began using the slogan 57 varieties in all his advertising. Today the company has more than 5,700 products around the world, but still uses the magic number of 57. Henry continued to expand the range of preserves, sauces, and marinades. Ketchup was followed by such products as sauces made of red and green peppers, chili, apple cider and dips, olives, pickled onions and cauliflower, baked beans and pickles. When the tomato sauce you know and love finally hit the scene, it was called catsup. The bottles also used to look quite different. Take a look at the different shapes throughout the years. By 1906, they settled on a shape that remains pretty similar to the glass bottles you'd find in stores today. Guys, the most fun thing is that in 1999 Heinz ketchup was approved by NASA to be used in space for astronauts. Isn't it cool? Guys, what made Heinz successful was that he never sacrificed quality in his products. Taking the principles he valued as a teenage entrepreneur, as an adult, Heinz continued to ensure his products were of the highest quality. To do so, he organized various quality control systems, introduced new technologies, and constantly experimented with packaging. He believed the way the bottle looked was of utmost importance. He noticed consumers did not trust canned food in opaque jars. Just like his horseradish sales, Heinz decided customers should be able to see what the product contains and started to use glass bottles for his ketchup. While the package demonstrated a beautiful red color of the sauce to buyers and enhanced the credibility of the manufacturer, there was a con. Ketchup often darkened over time, giving the product an imperfect look. To counteract the darkened color at the top of unopened ketchup bottles, Heinz began to glue labels around the bottleneck. Heinz also visited Germany, the land of his ancestors, where he saw all the machines and various techniques to improve his products. He saw a lot of different things which gave him new idea that he brought back to US. Similarly, he visited Britain as well, and this journey gave him some valuable experiences for long-term success. According to the Heinz Company's website, the firm earned over $10 billion in global revenue during fiscal 2008. In fact, sales figures suggest that Heinz sells over 600 million bottles of ketchup, its flagship condiment, every year. However, Heinz ketchup is packaged in more just in bottles as the company provides the single-serving packets of ketchup to fast food giant McDonald's. On top of these domestic sales, the Heinz Company earns a large portion its profits abroad, and over 1.5 million cans of Heinz beans are sold in the United Kingdom every day. Years of hard work and innovation had made Henry John Heinz and his products internationally known and respected. In 1919, in the year of the 50th anniversary of the founding of his company, H.J. Heinz died of pneumonia at his home, Green Lawn, in Pittsburgh. He was 74. He left behind a business with more than 6,500 employees, 25 factories and products that were distributed in countries around the world. Heinz used to say, "As I did not become a priest, I have to find another way to do some good to mankind." So guys, this brings us to the end of today's video. What do you think about it, Heinz ketchup? Tell us in comments. Thanks for watching.